So this is Louis, and I thought I would record something just for the sake of, actually maintaining a channel. Every once in a while you have to upload something, and I haven't for a couple weeks, and we're getting to the end of the year here. Not just the end of the month, but the end of the year. And I'm still questioning what I want to do for the end of the month. I have a couple things in mind that I'd like to do, but it's pretty much whether I have the motivation to do them. And every once in a while this happens, so I guess I'll give you a little bit of an insight to me and my channel in doing this. And that is, every once in a while I'll come across a story that will make me so angry that I just have to basically detach myself. And this is what happened. I saw a story, I got so fucking angry that I just got off of YouTube, I got off of Twitter, got off of Facebook, didn't go on Twitter other than occasionally to read a couple tweets, but and check my notifications and that sort of thing. But I didn't really tweet anything. I didn't really post anything. I obviously haven't uploaded anything. And it is because of this one story. And that is Desmond is Amazing, if I remember his name correctly. A video of him surfaced in some gay bar in San Francisco dancing to Gwen Stefani, I believe her name is. I thought she was with some band. But it was that kid dancing to some song, and I was going to do a video on it. And then he got promoted by NBC and I think CNBC or some other outlet. I think it was two different outlets he got promoted by. One was a morning show, another was just some other segment. And they were promoting him. Like he did a dance routine for them, and everyone was cheering along. And that was the moment where it wasn't just that, but it was the overall video that I saw of him that made me so fucking angry because no one cares. And this is one of the problems I have in life, is realizing that it isn't that no one cares. It's that everyone is too afraid to say something. Everyone is too afraid. No one wants to say anything about this kid because nobody wants to be fired. No one wants to be targeted. No one wants to lose their job and lose their career for having an opinion. So this kid eventually is either going to be exposed as being sexually assaulted by transvestite men, not transgender men, but transvestite fetishist men, and or is going to kill himself. Add 20 years to now, if even that, this kid's going to kill himself. This kid is going to be, a kid that was sexually molested, sexually exploited by his parents, and is going to kill himself. And everyone is sitting around watching it happen. Now, the thing is that there is this culture of drag, and I am utterly repulsed by it. I think it is disgusting. I think that what 100 years ago people saw as so ridiculous and revolting and grotesque to the extent that P.T. Barnum would put it in his show, The Bearded Lady, that for whatever reason this aspect of gay culture has become very mainstream, and I don't understand it. These guys, and I'll show you a couple pictures, these are carnies. Some of you might not know what that means. Google it. Look up the definition of what a carny is. These are carnies. These are freaks. These are people that belong in an old school circus, along with, the strong man who can lift these weights, and the midget and that sort of thing, that are doing a show, the man who's a lion tamer. They are sideshows. They are carnies. They belong in a circus, and yet they're not in a circus seen as freaks. They are instead on mainstream television being celebrated as part of gay culture. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand why anyone sees these people as anything other than freaks. And the issue is, though, that I'm not homophobic. I'm not against gays or anything else. This is something separate. But for whatever reason, no one says anything. No one says anything. No one has anything to say about the bearded lady being celebrated as something other than a freak show, what they are, and also the prostitution of children as being anything other than so unspeakably grotesque that to any right-minded person, any person who's in their right mind, would find it unfathomable that this is being promoted on mainstream television. That event, I think, is really what sent me over the edge, because my first conclusion is, how could anyone not care about this? But the answer is people do, but they're just they're so fucking afraid that they don't. That to me is where we're at now. Is you see the prostitution of a child in acts that can only be described as strip-teasing. The video that I'm not even going to link because I'm honestly surprised it's still up on YouTube. If this was some fucking Afghan uploading his video of him grooming and raping a child, that would be taken off of YouTube, I would hope. But this kid being pimped on a stage while, you know, men, grown adult men, are like handing him dollar bills or trying to tuck those dollar bills in his little jumpsuit. I just can't get around the fact that it's disgusting. It's disgusting, and yet this is something that I guess we're supposed to be celebrating. I don't think that it should really come to anybody's surprise that no one wants to talk about this topic because nothing's going to be done about it. Like I said, this kid is going to be eventually exposed as being sexually assaulted or molested and is going to fucking kill himself. And that's it. It's just going to happen. And it's going to happen to the 12 other kids that are right alongside him, that are the drag kids. There's like at least half a dozen prominent ones. And there's likely more than that. And they're paraded around, they go on stage, they strip down, and then people hand them fucking money. It's something that, in a world that had any semblance of actual genuine concern, that would be priority number one. Every fucking person on YouTube would be doing a video on it and condemning it. Every person would be talking to journos and people they knew to ask, okay, why is NBC and CNBC, whoever the fuck it was, I'll find the articles, why are they promoting this? Not just neutrally talking about it, but actively promoting it and having Desmond on the show to dance around. Why? This is something that you'd find out of a third world, and I'm not even joking. The Afghans have some sort of similar instance of this cultural phenomena where old men groom young boys and they parade around and they dance around them and then they fuck them. And that's just, if you want to be generous, pederasty, not pedophilia. But I don't understand what I don't understand is why people then turn around and either embrace or ignore what is going on Steam, for instance, with the mass censorship of visual novels and that sort of thing. Anything that can be tacitly related to, you know, school hijinks, that's banned because it's inappropriate for children. I wish my fan here would not be so loud. Or, such as the case of the censorship that's continuously going on, that's been happening all throughout this year, but is only getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And if I wanted to, and I'm not going to do it for the sake of editing, I could just show you a barrage of fucking articles from just the last 2 months of games that are in a setting set in a school, or it is lolicon, or it is something that is approaching young adulthood, and it's just banned, censored, censored, banned, censored, again and again and again. This is happening on Reddit, on Steam, online. It's everywhere. You are seeing this censorship everywhere, and everyone and their grandmother is sticking their head in the sand, or they're endorsing it. And so here's the issue, right? Why, if we're so concerned about children, if we need to be concerned about children, oh, everyone's a pedophile, everyone's just, if you watch one episode of Kill la Kill and you see an underage girl in a skimpy outfit that's just for fun, it's just for the sake of humor in the slice of life aspect comedy of the show, of this action-oriented show, if you see that, you're just one episode away from fucking turning into a pederast and going out and kidnapping and raping a kid. I mean, one episode of Kill la Kill, and you are halfway to the Dodge dealership to get yourself a fucking windowless work van. Okay? I know plenty of people, and that includes people like Dank, like Sargon, like people that I can go and name drop who aren't bad people, that are fairly afraid of this issue. But then there's people like, let's just say, Shuan Head, who is honestly the bad guy in this situation, who I wanted to do a full video on this Desmond is Amazing thing, and set it up to the fact that I've been talking about this kid for a while now and how disgusted I am by what's going on, and the fact that I have Shuan Head in writing before she deleted these tweets. She deleted the entire series of tweets because she realized how fucking bad they were. But she was out there basically trying to convince some ridiculous lunatic leftist, some far leftist sexual degenerate fetishist, that she was still like nuanced enough to be okay with pimping kids on a stage. Hella nuanced, by the way. I'm sitting here defending art, but man, that is some galaxy brain tier shit right there. Where you know what? I'm just gonna show the fucking video. That's what you're fucking defending. And I'm just going to calm myself down. Because this is honestly not worth getting too excited about in the way of anger and not in the way of incitement of the people in that fucking audience who are currently on their way down to their, to the, is it Mercedes? Who is it that has those work vans that's like a luxury car maker? I'll look that up and I'll show you a picture. They're halfway there, and they're buying a fucking windowless work van because they are sexual deviants. They are, I don't get it. I don't get how, if you look at this lowly, oh, this is disgusting, we need to censor this off the web, we are all in agreement, this is going to turn every man into a fucking pedophile. Meanwhile, we're here let me tuck this fucking $10 bill, my $5 bill tip into the G-string of this kid on a stage. That's the fucking thing we celebrate as we are clamoring and clamping down on every fucking artist online. And still with the thing with Tumblr, I've not seen any evidence, nothing to even say that the censorship that happened there was anything real. Was anything to do with actual, illegal material. I still get messages by people. I've gotten emails from artists. I've gotten private messages galore. People telling me about what's going on Tumblr and all this censorship that's happening. People losing their livelihoods on fucking Patreon, whether they're Sargon or just some random artist who's been accused of something they don't even draw, and they're losing their fucking livelihood over that. It's been nuts. And no one fucking cares. No one's talking about this. No one is talking about this. No one I watch, no one I follow, no one I know, no one I speak to is talking about this in any real way. No one. Zero. Approximately fucking zero, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't get it. This is the story of the year. This is honestly the story of the year. While at the same time, Reddit and Tumblr and Patreon and every motherfucking corporate entity out there, Steam, they're all clamping down on lowly or anything that can be conceivably like it. Anything, any visual novel that just gets randomly swept into the fucking, into the mold, the wild mold that isn't fitting anything of who is allowed on Steam and who isn't. Because I've seen several articles of games that have nothing to do with anything that is in any, even young adulthood. It is fully adulthood, and they're still being banned. This is the story of the year of censorship, because in the last 2 months, it's been out of fucking control. I think one of the worst things that could have happened was Sargon being taken off of Patreon, because now that has eclipsed everything, because everyone's losing their fucking money. And so, I've seen people whining. No, I put all of my eggs in this one basket, and now I'm not prepared. It's like, well, no shit, dude. Maybe if you're not in a financial position where you can just move to something else or come up with some of the, like, there's a million ways to make money online. And I said this to Sargon, and he just completely blew it off like it was nothing in terms of advice. I said if he was hurting for money that he should, do a t-shirt drive. Create some t-shirts, just coming up with some art and say, here, if you want to support me, buy these t-shirts. And he was like, ugh, I don't need that. So is it awful that he was kicked off of Patreon for no reason? Yeah, obviously. And everyone's in their right to decide what they want to as it relates to whether they stay or whether they go. And I think that there's plenty of props to give for someone like Sam Harris, who on fucking day one was like, all right, fuck this, and bailed out. That takes some real balls. And, I think that people like that, including Dave Rubin and Jordan Peterson, who's also both of them are taking it very seriously. Props to them for doing so. But what I resent about that is everyone involved. No one is talking about the issue of censorship. No one. In this aspect, I mean. No one is talking about how visual novels, certain artists, certain art styles, and anything that is even tacitly connected to it. Like, there's instances, especially on Steam, of games that are not that art style, that are not lowly, that are being banned just because it's like, freaking out. And also on Patreon, that too. I've had private messages from at least 2 artists on Tumblr who had their accounts erased without notification, just erased. And they weren't lowly artists. They were just artists. It's the story of the year. It's the story of the year, and no one gives a shit. But more importantly, while that is going on, while everyone is freaking out about lowly. Everyone's freaking out. Everyone's calling for, like, even people like Ian Miles Chong are, like, celebrating it being banned and shit. It's like, meanwhile, you have Desmond is Amazing being pimped on fucking national television and stripping on a stage for a gallery full of fucking gay men. Which is a big elephant in the room, by the way. It's unbelievable to me that while this is going on, everyone is ignoring, everyone, and I mean fucking everyone, is ignoring drag kids. Everyone is ignoring drag kids. And people like Shu are defending it. Outright just fucking vocally, openly, publicly defending it. I support drag kids. Oh, God. You know, it's that kind of moment. And this is not the first time this has happened with me, where something has shocked me and made me disgusted in such a way that it kind of went beyond anger to where the anger happened, and then I thought about it because I was like, all right, I should do a commentary on this. And basically when I put all the pieces together, I was like, wow, this is a fucking bleak situation. This is incredibly fucking depressing. Because even among the people that I like and that I respect and that I follow, no one gives a shit. No one cares. It's like, yeah, okay, 5 years from now, we're going to find out, oh, Desmond got pimped by his parents and got raped a couple times. Oh, he's on meds and is going to kill himself. Oh, he tried to OD. Oh, guess that happened. oh, we need to censor that lolicon. We need to get that because it might encourage some pederasty. Ooh, we got to get that offline. But hey, check out NBC.com morning show. Hey, come on out, Desmond, come twerk your fucking ass for all our audience members while we all clap and I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't understand. This should be, honestly, the story of the year. It really is, in my opinion. But the lack of response, the lack of concern by so many people has really depressed me. And the thing is, though, I know they know about it because I've sent them that information. And it's quite a few people I reached out to about this. I had conversations with them about this. No videos. Nothing. Nothing. No tweets. No nothing. No messages. No streams. No nothing. No nothing. Nothing at all. And it's like, I was right about the Loli issue. And I continue to be right. And I will continue to be right as time goes on and the situation grows worse. As every goddamn outlet online or on, PC for gaming, they're going to crack down continuously on Japanese games or games that they perceive to be related to so-called children. Although it's like, hey, these kids are 18, 19. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. They're legal adults. Can we stop with this infantilization of fully grown adults? Can we just stop? I understand that, my generation is completely fucked up. But can we knock it off? Can we not infantilize the next one? Can we try to do something differently? No! We gotta wrap everybody in bubble wrap. We gotta call everything fucking pedophilia, except when we have kids on stage twerking their asses to adults and stripping for them. They're doing a striptease on a cabaret stage in a gay club. Couldn't be, do they have to be in, like, an actual gentleman's club in a fucking thong? Like, to what degree do we have to reach before it becomes obvious? Because what was done in that video is a violation of the Ferber standard as far as I'm concerned. Any material that was printed up for that event, and there was, that is a violation of the Ferber standard. That is not constitutionally protected speech or expression. That is just child pornography because there is an underage victim. There is a kid that is being fucking exploited by his lunatic, degenerate parents for the excitement and enjoyment of fucking pederasts in this goddamn gay club in fucking San Francisco. Sexual fetishist degenerates. That is who's going to these events. And if you don't agree, by the way, if you want to fucking defend this, step up. Step the fuck up and defend it. It's what I love. Why does she delete those tweets if there's nothing to hide? If there's nothing to be ashamed about? If she actually wants to defend that position, why doesn't she? Why doesn't anyone have the fucking balls to defend this? Why? Because they know it's fucking grotesque on its face. We all know. We all fucking know. Every time we look at one of these fucking circus freaks, everyone is thinking of the bearded lady. They think of these people as fucking carnies, sideshow freaks, and yet everyone keeps their fucking mouth shut. But I'm not. At least not in this instance. I'm condemning it all, as I already have days ago on Twitter. I condemned it then, and I'm condemning it now. Drag is fucking degenerate. It should not be defended. It is a terrible aspect to so-called gay culture. It is a sexual fetish, and it is being taken from adults and put onto children. And these kids are meeting with the pinnacle, the most mainstream of the mainstream drag queen people like RuPaul. They're meeting, like Desmond has met RuPaul and has been promoted by RuPaul. This is mainstream. So there is no, oh, this is a fringe freak thing. This has nothing to do with the main. No, this is just drag culture. This is the inevitable outcome of sexual fetishization becoming mainstream. And I've never endorsed that. If you are a sexual fetishist, keep it in your own fucking bedroom. Don't bring it out in public. Don't bring it out and put it on a stage and put it on a pedestal and say that that's somehow you being prideful about something. That's just disgusting. Keep it in your own fucking bedroom. And if you're doing that shit with kids, do it up until the fucking feds realize what you're doing and you're prosecuted for it. And you lose custody of your fucking kids rightly for what you do. Which is disgusting. This should not be happening. And if we didn't live in a world that was full of fucking cowards, it wouldn't be. This would have been one instance and everyone would have gone, oh yeah, that's pretty fucking degenerate. I guess you're losing custody of your kids and that's it. Never happens again. But instead, it's glamorized, it's ignored, it's promoted by fucking disgusting fetishists. It's shown, and no one can criticize it because they know what comes next. They know what comes next. They know the label that's going to be ascribed to them. They know what's going to be said about them. People are going to start distancing themselves from that person, and they're going to have people calling their employer trying to get them fired, etc., etc., etc. We all know the outcome of an online lynch mob at this point. But anyways, I will just leave it there. This is just an explanation of where I've been and why I haven't been uploading, and where my mind's been for the past, pretty much about the last week, if not even longer, past that point of just not wanting to do anything, not wanting to talk to people, not wanting to just do much of anything, because it's like, I can't believe that so many people are focused on all these like secondary, tertiary things. And yet no one gives a shit about any of this. No one is like, oh, there's censorship happening on Steam. Ooh, who cares? No, man, they're banning artists on Tumblr. They're banning all these people on Reddit. They're banning this. They're banning that. Oh, hey, you know, well, I don't want to be associated with Loli, even though there's people being banned that have no association with it. They're just being caught up in the dragnet of mass censorship. Hey, well, hey, what can you expect? Who cares? We have other things to talk about. Did you hear what Trump just talked about? Oh, why don't we talk about the wall? Why don't we talk about the budget? Oh, we just got out of Syria. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about anything other than the thing that's staring us in the fucking face, which is this kid dancing around on a fucking stage. And while we all clap our hands, ooh, we're all wagging our fingers at artists who we're just accusing en masse as being fucking pederasts or pedophiles in most instances. That's the claim being made. And it's just willy-nilly. It's just like, okay, there goes your career. Bye. Oh, your livelihood's on Patreon. Okay, well, bye. Don't care. Oh, your game's about to launch on Steam. Okay, bye. Yep, you're done. Sorry. And that's happened a bunch of times recently, by the way. It's like a bunch of games ready to release on Steam, and Steam's like, okay, yeah, no. Bye. Bye. And then now they're just in limbo because they put all their eggs in one basket. And that was dumb, by the way. They shouldn't have done that. They thought that Steam was going to be an open platform because that's what they promised to be. But no, they've been lying, and they've lied more than once. And it's to be expected at this point. They're schizophrenic oftentimes. And unfortunately, the consequences of that are, people can't release their games on a platform. And so now they're going to have to go back to the websites, all the different websites, like Nutaku and Manga Gamer and Jast and all the rest. They'll have to go back to those websites and hope for the best. Because, unfortunately, they're, Icarus? Flying too close to the sun? If that's the correct figure in mythology. I'm not really sure whether it's compensation. Like, I can't really get into the mind of the people that are actually defending the censorship. Because they just go on Twitter, you'll find them. Plenty enough of them are around. Same people that are clapping their hands and lauding fucking kids dancing around on stage stripping for adults. They're the same people clamoring for censorship. And once again, it's just something that you have to question, because it reminds me an awful lot of the Booth Babes then becoming the Twitch Thoughts. Just really weird, and it's the same thing all over again. Are you disgusted by the promotion and pimping of kids dancing as any cabaret dancer or stripper would? Does sexualization of minors disgust you or not? And if the answer is yes, this is disgusting, ban it all! Okay, here you go, here, right here, Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hello? Anybody home?
Should I get the spotlights out for you? Hello? Right here. Mainstream television, right in your face. Boom, smack in the fucking face. Here it is. What the fuck are you doing about it? What are you saying about it? I haven't heard anyone. No one gives a shit. No one's saying one fucking word about it. It's right there. It's being lobbed up. Go. Go for it. Start your campaign. Go crazy. Start going after people, calling CPS, calling the president. Go nuts. No, we're too busy censoring people off of Reddit and Patreon and Steam and every other fucking outlet. Just not this. For some reason. No clue what it is other than people are fucking pussies and they don't want to call out a degenerate part of the LGBT culture. Other than that, I don't get it. Even with conservatives, I've only seen a handful of people even tweet about this. Like, throw it or like, oh yeah, I don't endorse this. Okay, yeah, and look at fucking what's-his-face, that director from Guardians of the Galaxy, who people on the right went after for making inappropriate jokes, like he had just sacrificed a child on an altar and then broadcast it to, worldwide, like a fucking ISIS video. Gun. They went after him like that, like he was an ISIS fucking guy that they had found out that was leaked to the public and they got him fucking fired off of a movie for that reason. And they celebrated it as them claiming a scalp. Meanwhile, you got Desmond out there getting pimped on a fucking cabaret stage in a gay club in San Francisco and then going on mainstream television and doing like a fucking, God, what's it called? Like, usually it's like right after you write a book and you just do the talk show circuit. Or you do it's called something. I don't remember exactly. But it's that sort of thing. Like, hey, look at this degenerate dance I just did. You're going on television. Everyone's like, oh, tell us about that degenerate dance you did on the cabaret station, San Francisco there, Desmond. It's just unbelievable. And meanwhile, the whole right is just like, yeah, I'm nothing to see here. Hey, what's James Gunn up to? Nothing to see here with Desmond. It's unbelievable. What Desmond should have done is he should have gone on stage and done some fucking stand-up related to kids and made some rape jokes about kids. Maybe then people would fucking care. Apparently that's what riles people up, is jokes. Not the actual fucking thing. Whatever. I'm just gonna sit here with my Corona and edit this, upload it, and go to bed. And that'll be it. So, thanks for listening.